Yeah.
Cool. As long as you see yourself, you're good. You're not going to be able to see us this way, but you're on, man. We really appreciate you. You look like you're ready to be playing center field there. Or for what position would you be playing if you were on the Dodgers?
Oh man, first base, because I'm a power hitter. You know what I mean?
I like it. What number do you think you would pick?
69 player all day.
I like it. Let me announce it. And now at bat, number 69, first baseman, number 69, Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez.
That's me right there.
Were you a pretty good player in your day, baseball?
Baseball wasn't really my thing, man. I was more of a basketball player.
I got you. You know what's funny? I used to play football. I'd play maybe a little bit of basketball. I played some hockey and I played some soccer, but I never wanted to play baseball because kids were always hitting other kids in the head with the ball.
Dude, yeah.
Right?
That's one of the main reasons why I never really got into baseball too much, because I don't like getting hit by the ball, you know?
Right. And I'm not a fighter like you are, but I always trained and I was always into martial arts and football. And people would say, man, you're doing all this tough stuff, but not baseball. And I'm like, yeah, the difference is you get hit in the ball, you get hit in the head or even the balls. With a ball, it's going to be even worse than any other of those contact sports. So we're the same way. But definitely it's a fun sport to watch, man. But you're looking sharp. Are you getting ready to go to a game or something? Or you just like the gear?
No, man. This is how I dress every day. I'm always fly. You know, I'm actually out here with my dog, about to go on a hike. You know, just I forgot we were gonna do this call, but you know, I'm always fly, man. I'm out here just fly as hell for a hike.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. We won't keep you too long, man. What kind of a dog do you have?
I got an American Bully.
Cool, man.
Beast, man. Actually, his name's Dodger.
Dodger, I love it, man. That's why you got the gear and you got the real Dodger with you. That's awesome, man. Very cool. So, man, I'll tell you, we're happy to have you on the show. I know I always give a proper introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, we have UFC welterweight contender, the man they call D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez. Welcome back to the show, Daniel. We're always so happy and grateful to talk to you, man. So, your last fight was a few months back. Do you have anything lined up? Are there some possibilities? Anything you're allowed to talk about?
No, man. I've been getting that question asked a lot lately, and I haven't really been giving people answers. You know, actually, I just got cleared last week to like start doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, about a week or two away from getting fully cleared to like you know, start hitting pads and start really getting some power shots in there. You know, but I've been working this whole time, doing other things. You know, working on other aspects of my game. And as of lately, yeah, man, I've been going at it again. You know, training really hard, and you know, I feel like I'm not too far off the wagon. You know, I feel like, you know, in a month or two, you know, I think I'd be able to get to step back in that cage. You know, hopefully. I mean, I gotta wait for the doctor's approval, you know, to get cleared. But you know, the way I'm feeling right now, I think I'd be ready to go sometime late July.
Very cool. So we could look for you hopefully in a summer fight. Are there any fighters? I know everyone wants to try to grab someone ranked ahead of them. So if there were a few guys ranked ahead of you that you think would be a good fight, are there any guys, any names you could throw out? Not necessarily to call them out, but any people that maybe like you're interested in, or maybe kind of acquaintances of yours that you think could be some good fights or something?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple names. There's people ahead of me. There's people behind me. There's people calling me out. You know, it's really all up to the UFC. If it was up to me, you know, I'd like to come back to maybe like a, you know, top 15 guy. You know, anywhere from 10 to 15. I think would be a good matchup. You know, and you know, if anybody below me, you know, I'd say somebody like, man, I don't even know, dude. Last I was kind of, the name got thrown at me was Robbie Lawler. I think that'd be a fucking hell of a matchup. I think maybe something like Jeff Neal, maybe you know, Neil Magny or something like that. You know, there's all kinds of names out there, man. I could just throw. I never really thought about it. You know, I've always been the type of person who just fight anybody. You know, I think my UFC career so far says that, you know, me stepping in on so many short notice fights, you know, I'll fight anybody.
Absolutely, and you've done that coming off a good win. Your last fight was actually about like 8 months ago against Kevin Lee. Really good fight there. Before that, Preston Parsons. Before that, Mike Perry. So you got a 3-fight win streak, and you know, you're in a good position, man. There's so many good guys at 170. The last big 170 fight was Belal Muhammad against Vicente Luque. And, you know, I don't know about you, but that fight surprised me a little bit. We had both of them on our show, and they're both really cool dudes, both very respectful dudes. Luque was like a little bit favored because he had knocked out Belal like 5 years earlier. And it seemed to me like Belal is a guy that has some wrestling, but not like he wasn't like a D1 wrestler. And it seemed to me like most people thought Luque was going to shut down his takedowns and just light him up. And it couldn't have been further from the truth. Belal kept taking him down time and time again and again and again. And by doing that, pretty soon, Luque, even though he landed a few shots, his output started to become lower and lower and lower because he didn't want to be taken down. Did that fight go the way you thought, or if not, what do you think what made that fight go that way, different from what a lot of us expected?
Man, I expected a lot different out of that fight as well. I expected it to be more of a stand-up. I expected Luque would be able to, you know, keep it on the feet a little bit more. But like you said, his volume did slow down, and you know, Muhammad just had success with the takedowns and continued to, you know, continue that strategy, and it worked out for him.
Yeah, you know, it's strange because Muhammad he's getting better. Obviously, he's getting better and better. But it's weird because against a lot of other guys, he didn't look that good of a wrestler. And we kind of felt that Luque had faced some wrestlers. Like he faced Tyron Woodley, but I know Woodley was way past his prime. But I mean, in a fight like that, is it possible that there was some sort of really bad leg injury on Luque or something, like all of a sudden maybe where like he couldn't even sprawl, I mean, because of an injury? Or do you think in a fight that big, if he had some kind of injury where he wasn't even going to be able to fight like normal, he would have pulled out?
Man, you know, I'd hope that, because there's been times where you know, I've fought injured. When I fought Perry, I had torn my pec in jiu-jitsu practice, and they wanted me to get a surgery. But sometimes, man, opportunities like that, when you have like a big opportunity ahead of you and you're willing to like train and fight through the injury, like me, myself, I've been known to like work around my injuries. Like my most recent injury with Kevin Lee, it was like I had fought already 2 other times. My initial injury was during Mike Perry. So that Mike Perry camp, I had tore my ligaments in my finger, but you know, I was able to go to like the UFC Pi and get therapy on it every day. But that last fight was the one where it really like just gave out, and you know, I had to do something about it. So, you know, maybe that is the case. You know, who really knows when we're in there? You know, it could be a lot of things. You know, it could be overtraining, it could be undertraining. You know, it's you got to have like the right formula stepping into there. But
it's really true. And if anything is really off, it can make a really big difference. You know what I mean? Like, I remember I was watching boxing when I was like 10 years old with my dad. And like, there were 2 guys that were undefeated, like top 10 contenders. And one of them knocked the other one out like in the first round in boxing. And they talked to the other guy, and he's like, "Yeah, man, sorry, I just wasn't there. You know, I didn't even show up for this fight." And I remember as a kid, I was like so confused. I was like to my dad, "How does this other guy who's won like 20 fights in a row against good contenders, all of a sudden he gets wiped out like that?" And my dad said, "Just had to be something wrong with him. Something had to be going on. I mean, or he just got caught, or you know what I mean? But if it isn't just that, just, you know, something must have been off with like you said, overtraining or an injury." And that happens, and that can make a big difference. That's why it's kind of unpredictable in betting on MMA, because you don't know, right? Something happened to your fighter, he can look like half of his normal self on one day, right? And then the next time he comes out, he looks really good.
You know, or he could have like a shitty weight cut or something, you know? It's,
right.
There's a lot of aspects to it. You know,
Without
that has a lot to do.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Let me ask your opinion on another welterweight fight. So that big fight a couple weeks ago, Hamzat against Gilbert Burns. We had Gilbert Burns on the show. I predicted Gilbert Burns would win that fight. Everyone was saying Hamzat was going to wipe him out. Hamzat was going to smash him. All that crap. I mean, I'm not putting down Hamzat because he's a tough guy, but I was first of all, I thought Gilbert won that fight, although it was really close. But even though he didn't get the decision, I think it shut a lot of people up that were saying Hamzat was going to make him look like an amateur. Did you agree that Burns was in that fight that whole time, or did you have doubts?
Oh no, man! I knew it was going to be I knew it was going to be a war. I didn't think it was going to be a war like that. I was thinking I was thinking it was going to be more of a little more grappling going on. But man, that was a close ass fight. It was super entertaining, and it definitely put Hamzat on the map as far as that goes, and it showed a lot out of Gilbert Burns. So he got that dog in him, and that was a straight up dog fight right there. It
really was. It was a really, really good fight. And then I know on that same card, Aljamain got the decision against Peter Yan. And it's funny, I picked Aljamain to win that fight. That was a close one also. I could see people angry if they felt Yan won. Yeah. But one of the things I said on my show, man, because I've been watching combat sports for decades, all the hate that Aljo was getting for the whole year after he took that knee. And all the keyboard warriors that was saying, man, Aljo sucks, Peter Yan's going to beat him. Again, like they thought about Hamzat. And I said, when shit like that goes on, when there's a weird circumstance before a rematch, the guy that the fans usually want to win the rematch does not win the rematch.
Yeah.
I've seen it in boxing too many times, right? It goes the other way. It goes exactly the opposite. And, but I'm happy about that because Aljo was really getting disrespected. And it's like, I'm not a professional fighter, but I don't criticize fighters. When you have all these keyboard warriors, people eating hamburgers and pizza, nachos, whatever, 290 pounds, never fought a day in their life, talking about Aljo sucks, he's a piece of shit, he can't fight, he's a actor, he pretended he was hurt. That pissed me off. And so I like the fact that he got the win so that all those people could kind of shut the hell up and realize that he is a very good fighter. And to disrespect a guy off of taking a knee, I mean, I think, I'm kind of happy that happened.
Yeah. I mean, it's real easy for people to say something, but let someone else get kneed in the face by a professional fucking UFC fighter, and we'll see if they're gonna want to continue to fight.
Exactly.
Or if they're gonna think they have fucking brain damage or something. People think it's easy what we do, and it's easy to say and criticize what we do, but at the end of the day, we put everything we got into this shit. So we just gotta do our best, to ignore that shit, because the casual fan don't really know the details of what's going on in a fight. They want to see us beat the shit out of each other. They don't see dominant positions or like just controlling a fight.
Exactly.
For my style is like not that. Mine's like action packed. So fans don't complain about my fights.
No, definitely not. And there's some good fighters out at 170, man. And we got Colby Covington, although I guess he's kind of healing up from Jorge Masvidal surprise attacking him, man. That was unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm not going to try to jump into controversy too much with that. But you got Usman there. I think eventually they have to give, and I think they are giving Leon Edwards the shot with Usman. I think that's set. Do you know if that is? I think it is, right?
I'm not 100% sure. There's definitely, there's a lot of action going on in the welterweight division right now. I think I'm excited to be coming back. I feel like at some point I'm gonna be fighting one of these names you just mentioned.
Yeah.
And I'm still young, early in my UFC career. I feel like I have so much more to show and so much more to grow. And I was watching my fights yesterday, and I could just see the progression per fight in such little time, And I think this time I've been off was kind of like something my body really needed, because in those 18 months, that I was in the UFC, I had fought 7 times, and you know, I feel like I gave myself some time to like fully rest and recover, and I'm back now, and I feel great.
Without a doubt, absolutely, man. You've been so impressive in your short time in the UFC, man. I was just looking at your record here on the screen. My producer threw it up there, and it looks like you had a few fight over at Combates. Let me ask you, and I'm sure you can be honest on this. I mean, all respect to Combates, but I don't know a lot of people that have a lot of time that watch that organization. Are there really a lot of guys that can be as good as you in there, or is it kind of really hit and miss? Some guys in Combates can fight and some can't.
There was definitely a lot of talent in Combate Americas when I was there. I was their biggest signed fighter at the time, so a lot of like there was my decision to leave was and not re-sign with them was because I was the only signed 170-pound fighter, and I did a couple fights at 65, and you know, I wanted to. There was no division in order for me to be a champion or anything like that, but mainly their focus was the smaller fighters, the you know 35ers, 45ers, you know, and mainly like Latino fighters, you know, which a lot of those guys are small. There's not like a lot of big dudes, but there was definitely a ton of talent in there while I was there, you know. But it's just that their focus is more on the smaller dudes.
Absolutely, it makes sense. Remind us where you train and who some of your training partners are. Like if there's anyone that's in the UFC or Bellator or One or anything like that.
Well, yeah, as of lately, I've been training a lot with Cowboy Cerrone, helping him with his upcoming May 7th fight versus Joe Lozon. You know, and in that time, I like, you know, just hanging out with the BMF dudes. Yair Rodriguez, spent a lot of time with him working. You know, Pato Martinez. He's an up and coming fighter, like been around for a long time. Dudes at Syndicate, my main training partner right now. He was just released from the UFC, Sasha Palatnikov, but great dude. He's gonna be coming back, and you know, there's just a ton of names at Syndicate. It's like everybody knows that Las Vegas is like a revolving door for fighters. So I'm always getting different looks. There's always fighters coming in town, and I'm always getting these opportunities to train and spar and just work with different people. I've worked with all kinds of different dudes since being in Vegas.
Very cool. And you know, one question that I had, I've been to the UFC Pi a couple times, and I know it's available to you UFC fighters. Can you just go down to the UFC Pi one day, see a few guys hanging out, and actually go to a guy and say, "Hey, man, can we jump in and do a little bit of training?" Does it work that way? Can you train with some guys that like you not even any part of any gym, but just happen to be at the Pi if you're there?
Not necessarily. I don't really like to train with too many other fighters. You know, I like to stick to who I train with at Syndicate or you know, whatever fighters I work with. But when I go back to Los Angeles, which is my team over at like 10 Planet in the Yard, and you know, I don't really like to mix it up. Otherwise, I would have been going to Extreme Couture. But there's too many competition, and I don't really want to make you know, any friends other than what I have going on right now in my division. You know, I just want to keep my style and my circle tight. You know, so I don't really mix it up with too many other fighters.
That makes sense. And you know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if anyone does that, because I mean, I guess if someone saw another fighter at the Pi and says you want to jump into the cage, they don't know, are they challenging them, what their intentions are? So I would imagine, right, that might not happen a lot, but do you think it happens at all? I mean, is it possible? You know, I
mean, I'm sure, like dudes like if let's say Sean Strickland, perfect example of, sees a group of dudes, you know, probably his size or a good group of dudes. I mean, he's gonna go up in there and be like, "Hey, can I get some rounds with you guys?" You know, it's possible. It's possible. Like Strickland would definitely do some shit like that.
That makes sense. He's a unique dude, man. Are you kind of an acquaintance of his, or just you hear and see the stuff?
Yeah, yeah. He was a training partner of mine when he was coming down to Syndicate. He don't go there anymore, but me and him had some really good sparring rounds. Definitely he's a tough motherfucker. Definitely have his respect, and I'm sure he has mine.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a tough dude, man. So he's up there at middleweight, or is it light heavy now? It's
he's a middleweight.
That's right. So that's got
he's been killing it. He's got a great matchup coming up versus Alex Pereira. I'm a fan of both of these guys, so I'm excited for that matchup. It's gonna be amazing.
That definitely should be amazing, man. Can't wait to see that fight.
That's going to be a war, dude.
Yeah, without a doubt. What do you think really quick, and then I won't keep you more than maybe 5 more minutes, but what do you think really quick of the fights coming up this Saturday, man? We got the big one, Alex Oliveira against Justin Gaethje. That's one weight division lower. Ooh. Yeah, that's great.
Man, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be a crazy-ass fight.
Yeah.
Both of those guys could take some punishment, and both of those guys dish out a lot of punishment, so it's definitely gonna. I don't see that fight going the distance at all. I could see it ending somewhere in the 3rd, 4th round, where someone is just like had enough of just
Yeah, because it's going to be a lot of punishment. What insight can you give me on that fight that maybe like not all the fans necessarily might know about? Because there's a lot of educated fans. The uneducated fans, I'm not even referring to them. But as a fighter at that high level like these guys, and you're only one weight division away from them, what should we be looking for that might be something that the average educated fan isn't thinking about in that matchup that might give us an idea that it's going to go one way or the other once the bell rings?
Yeah, man, I think the fans are expecting a war. I think what they should be trying to look for is who's the smarter fighter in that, when it comes down, because, everybody knows Gaethje Styles, like, takes a lot of damage and gives a lot back, I'd be paying attention to who has the better defense and, is going to take the least damage, but we're all expecting a fucking war,
Without a doubt. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, that was all I was going to say.
Yeah. I mean, because, here's what I think some people think. Some people think that Gaethje was the D1 wrestler, so Oliveira has no business taking him down. And then, right, the same people will say, so if that's the case, then the heavier hitter is Gaethje. So people like on that thought can say, well, this is a slam dunk win for Gaethje. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think Oliveira's jiu-jitsu is it's next level, man.
Yeah.
He's got amazing jiu-jitsu. So, if it gets to the ground, I think Gaethje is like, in trouble at all times.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think because of that can kind of be in Gaethje's head. Like one thing I learned from jiu-jitsu is that the better guy that you're going against, the more stressful it is, right? If you got, you know what I mean? And like I'm a purple belt, but if you all of a sudden are in there with an experienced brown belt or a black belt, like immediately you have that extra stress because you're like, this guy's just better than me. If I make one mistake, and even if you try not to have that, he's going to be more relaxed, right? And sometimes I think because Oliveira has such a good jiu-jitsu game and some good hands that it's like he's putting that stress on his opponent most of the time because they don't want to be on their back. They don't want to lose their footing. They don't want to give him a chance to backpack them or anything, right? And I think that helps him out, right?
I wouldn't want to. I'd be circling around that dude the whole time. I ain't trying to get even. I'm trying to have him get a grab a hold of me at no point in the fight, So yeah, that definitely adds stress to training. It would definitely like have me training jiu-jitsu way more, just working on trying not to get taken down or submitted.
Yeah, because I think Gaethje in that fight against Habib, and Habib is, amazing as everyone knows, but as soon as he was down, it wasn't that hard for Habib to submit him. So a lot of people are probably feeling that, even though Oliveira doesn't have the same wrestling as Habib, if Oliveira's on top, Gaethje could be in trouble, and you never know. I mean, it's like, it'd be great if Gaethje could get his jiu-jitsu off of his back to be like 100% on point. But if you take a wrestler whose top game is pretty much their game and expect they're all of a sudden going to get to be like a black belt with their technique and jiu-jitsu off their back, probably not going to happen, right?
Nah. I don't think so, man. What other matchups we got up there? Oh, Cowboys fighting Joe Lozon.
Yup, your buddy Cowboy.
I'm excited for that.
That should be exciting, man.
My boy Cowboy.
Two legends right there. I think Lozon would love to be on top of Cowboy. Cowboy's a black belt also, so I know he could hold his own there. And then an interesting one is Michael Chandler against Tony Ferguson. I mean,
yeah.
That should be interesting, but then the question is, like, Tony's been beaten up. I mean, he got beaten so badly in that Gaethje fight. And then
I wouldn't want to see him take no damage like he did in that Gaethje fight. He's been having a tough couple fights, and I'm a big Tony Ferguson fan. Also 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu guy.
Of course. Yeah.
And I just want to. Chandler's a fucking animal. He's like a little pit bull fucking guy, dog. Oh man, it's gonna be a crazy fight.
Absolutely.
It's a tough matchup for Ferguson for sure.
Yeah, it is. And then, Doctor, can you go up so I can see those higher matchups a little bit? So then, let me see. We got Chandler Ferguson. Basically, Rose Namajunas, Carla Esparza. If you remember going back, right, 5 years ago, when they had the Ultimate Fighter for the women's strawweights, and it was the first time strawweights had come to the UFC. The winners of the Ultimate Fighter, the first and second, fought each other, and it was Rose Namajunas and Carla Esparza, and Carla's wrestling was just way too much for like a 22-year-old Rose Namajunas. Now you fast forward what's like 5-6 years ago. How do you feel that fight plays out?
Man, I definitely think Rose Namajunas has grown so much more since that fight. I remember watching that season of The Ultimate Fighter, and I was a fan of Rose. Actually a bunch of those girls. It's good to see that they're still in there doing successful. But I definitely think Rose has had much more success, and with that comes better training and just everything's better when you're winning, and you're the champion. So I definitely think that I could see Rose winning that fight. And I think I don't think Carla Esparza's gonna have very much success with the takedowns, and I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because Rose is tough, and Carla is not the last woman that beat her, because she did lose to Jessica Andrade with that slam. But I think Carla is like the first woman in the UFC to beat her, I think, and definitely beat her for that significant title. So it's going to be exciting to see. Carla's tough. Carla's actually been on an amazing streak. I think she only got pieced up by Tatiana Suarez, and now Suarez is going up to flyweight once she can get over the injury. Man, Tatiana Suarez has been injured for like 3.5 years. That's gotta suck. Did you ever have a period of like that where you just kept not healing up year after year after year?
Nah, man. This last surgery is the longest layoff I've ever had. It's been a difficult process because it's my hand, I got to use it for everything, and unfortunately, I had some setbacks. I'm healing up from my third and last surgery. It's just me being anxious to get back to work, man, and just getting back to work too fast, and then just re-injuring it. I think this time around I've been a little more patient, and just because this is it, man. I'm like, I can't take any more time off super anxious to get back in there, but at the same time, like I'm so close, and I'm so excited, and I'm being really patient and not doing something stupid, you know.
Absolutely, that's the key. Hey, let me ask you one last fight really quick, then we'll let you go. This Saturday, Chaos Williams, Kalin, the man they call Chaos, the Ox fighter, Williams going up against Randy Brown, your division.
Yeah, shit, man, I'm excited to see who wins that, you know. I'm definitely gonna be watching. I'm gonna be there, you know. So shit, maybe I can fight one of these dudes coming back. You never know.
That's what I was thinking, right? Because they may be ranked slightly above you, or you know, right around where you are, and that would be exciting, man. Because Chaos always brings that power, and then Randy Brown is like 6'4" or something for a welterweight, so he's got that ranginess, or 6'3". But yeah, man, you're going to be in it, and I know you'll fight anytime. Love to see them give you a full camp because you kill it even on short notice. But it would be nice if they gave you the respect of.
I'm already getting ready, man. You know, camp already started. I don't even have an opponent, but
right.
I'm just so hungry to get back in there, man. I'm about to go fucking run up this hike with my dog. You know, he's been patient.
Yep. I was going to say, man, we got to thank your dog, Dodger, man, for just chilling out like that for us. Tell us the best place people can support you on social media.
Yeah, man, you can hit me up on Instagram at DRodUFC. Same on Twitter. I think I'm still on Facebook. I don't know.
I hear you.
But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm still on Facebook. But my main, yeah, that's it, man.